Swing low, sweet chariot.
Wait, I'm not sure if I have the right setting. Yeah, we don't have the right settings.
Hello. Hello.
Excellent start, dude.
Hello. Welcome.
Shut up. Yes, hello. Yes, welcome to the Take a Walk podcast.
What's your name?
You sound like a sick Russian. There you go.
Hello.
Sam.
Hello, my name is Kyle.
I'm Devon.
All right,
we have
welcome to the
kidnapped.
podcast.
Okay. I was gonna go in further in that Russian.
I mean, that would
kidnapped
work.
him.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
No, it's fine. It's
shit.
over
Well,
now.
going.
It's
No,
over
keep
now.
going.
No, it's
Yeah,
over now.
no, I like it.
My name is Kyle. I'm joined by my friend Sam and my co-host Devon.
I thought you were just not gonna mention it. I thought you were just going, my friend Sam. I'm like, I was just going, oh.
I'm here with my best buddy Kyle.
Yeah.
And Devon.
And
Yeah,
our
and Devon.
coworker.
Yeah.
It's a mutual coworker thing.
It's okay, guys. I'm getting paid, so don't feel too bad for me.
Oh,
Yeah, there's minimum
wait.
wage though,
Did
so
you
you know,
not tell him?
it's not.
Did you not tell him he's not?
Is it volunteer?
He's not getting.
It's volunteer.
Do we agree
Sam,
on that?
can I talk to
I
you?
wasn't sure. Yeah. Okay, let's
Alright,
go.
hold on.
Hey, wait.
We'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
Wait, no, you
Hold on.
can't.
No, hold on. We'll be right back. We gotta
No,
talk.
but
No, you're great.
guys, I don't know. I need help. They're like, oh shit.
Never ask me again.
Oh shit. Guys. Oh fuck.
Sorry, hold on.
Please help me.
Hold on.
Devin, help. Please help.
Welcome back to Take a Walk podcast.
What was the decision?
Oh, don't worry about it. We'll tell you later.
Oh, okay.
We can't disclose this on
Yeah.
the show.
Next time on Never. Anyway, let's get on.
All right. So how are you gentlemen doing?
I'm doing pretty well.
All right.
You're good.
I'm good.
You're good.
Good.
Yes. You're good. We're all
Sam.
good.
Sam, you're looking a little pale there. You okay?
Yeah.
Why
Oh,
don't
okay.
Hey, why don't you stick your mind in your own
Yeah.
business?
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. So I've been doing pretty all right lately. Just living life, living the vida loca. I want to apologize that we've had such a long break, but quite frankly, we've had a lot of shit to do. We had to wait until our boy Sam had to get out of school because he had to go to school far away.
We're just a couple of busy boys.
We're
Yeah.
just busy boys, and I fucking work my ass off all the time selling. I'm not even gonna go into like a
Selling heroin.
Dude, come on, man. We talked about this. You're not supposed to tell them.
Right. I'm sorry. You know what? Hold on. Erasing your
was a-
mind. Hold on.
No, no,
Erasing
no.
your memory in 3, 2, 1. All right. They're good. Welcome back to Take a Walk Back. We've started this episode 4 times,
Have we?
pretty much.
Was that the
Feels
start?
like it.
Cool. No, I like it. Let's just. I mean, it's a good. It's a joke.
Good.
Yeah.
It's a good start.
It's a good thing.
So pretty much, just to kind of get this out there, we've been kind of discussing other ideas that we would like to do and take this channel. We have a lot of ideas, but it all comes down to what the people like, and so we're kind of thinking of branching out into like, we're still gonna do the podcast and everything, but we're thinking about branching off into other like subcategories. Like maybe we'll do Let's Play stuff. Maybe we'll do like fucking review stuff. Maybe we'll do other useless bullshit that you guys would find funny. It's not useless if it makes you laugh.
Yeah. I mean, this is all assuming that we have an audience.
Right. Well,
Which I think is a pretty critical assumption to make.
you know what? Look, I think eventually everybody has an audience.
You think so?
There's so many people out there, and there's so
Yeah.
many videos out there. Just fucking process of elimination. Someone's got to find us eventually.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess you're
eventually Kyle will watch through all these, so eventually we'll
That's
have
true.
an audience.
And I will comment.
An
Don't.
audience of one.
I will comment.
Better an audience than none, right?
When I ask, like,
Episode.
when I ask, like, do you have any ideas for a show? I will comment, stop making it. And I think that would be probably the best criticism we could ever get.
I think
But-
I think our videos are gonna have exactly 2 comments, and the first one is gonna say first, and the second one is gonna say please stop.
Or
Yeah.
I dislike this video. Or like, I don't know, something like, hey, I have a dog too. Or
That's kind of what it's like. Isn't
yeah,
it?
or like sub to my channel. I'll give you a sub for sub because they can tell how desperate we are. At the end, I'm not in it for the rat race this time. I'm in it for fun.
Yeah.
I'm in it to hang out with my friends and You just be a general asshole.
Yeah, it's just for shits and giggles.
It's just for shits and giggles. Just for shits and giggles.
Bleep. It was over. Now we're general
Dude,
assholes.
you're not supposed to tell them the name of our channel.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to bleep that.
You have to
It's not
bleep
the
that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna straight up mute that.
It's our deep dark past.
Could you imagine it's
Yeah.
just like, bleep is
It's our
bleep
past. It's our past, and we let it die.
I'm
I already let it die.
I'm actually gonna use that bleep right there, the one that
bleep.
you just said. I'm just gonna put it over that.
That's what's perfect.
Bleep.
Not that
Not
bleep.
that one.
You didn't
Oh,
need to do another bleep.
Yeah,
You already got
we have
the
enough
bleep.
bleeps.
All right.
You bleep and bleep, bleep, bleep.
I
Guys,
killed him.
I think I'm gonna sneeze.
Do
Don't.
it.
Hold on.
Dude, it worked.
Weak.
I'm not gonna sneeze anymore.
You're
That's what I did.
weak.
Dude, look at that audio spike, though.
Oh, it's well.
That's
That's probably
probably
would've been
me.
worse if I sneezed.
Or the
That,
snap.
yeah, I guess so.
Boom.
So how has life been for you, gentlemen? That's disgusting.
Allergies.
Yeah. Well, pretty busy, honestly. Dude, I got home from school.
Yes.
And I had literally 1 day of break, and then I started work. So it was,
Oh my
It's
god, I
been-
feel really bad for you.
yeah, me too.
Genuinely,
I'm-
I feel bad.
I'm really glad to hear you say that.
yeah,
it means a lot.
I hope it really does, because what else do you have in this cesspool of life?
Well,
God.
yeah, I couldn't agree with you more.
So I feel bad for Kyle for feeling bad for Sam.
I feel bad for Devon for not being as epic as I am. Devon, how have you been doing lately?
I mean, I've been captive
Captive?
in my house.
No, you've been fine.
Yeah.
You've been good.
You mean to tell us
Been
you've
okay.
fine?
Yeah.
Yes.
Been-
yes.
I've just been captive.
You've been captivated by
Yeah.
the art. In
Exactly.
Your house.
Yeah.
You
Um,
bought a Picasso painting recently. and
sure.
It's been really captivating to look at.
Yeah.
That's what you
well,
mean.
In actually, I have a story for that. I had an art class in college, and had some. It was the first ever group project
Right.
I ever had to do in college so far.
Okay.
Which I've been pretty lucky. I've been avoiding group projects,
Mm-hmm.
And you have group projects in high school, and they're not that bad. Everyone says them bad, but they're not. They're not.
Well,
that bad.
when you're
high
in
school group
yeah,
projects are
it's-
not
it's
bad.
a joke.
Well, okay, no. When
It's-
you're in
it's-
high school, it's different because you know everybody.
Yeah.
When you're in college, you don't know half these fools.
Well, then you definitely see everyone every single day.
Right.
It's super easy to get that organized.
True. They all have the same schedule, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Which,
But
go on.
yeah. So I got into this. I gotta get into a little rant about some group projects. So when we first made this group, I actually knew somebody in the class, so I kind of had you always stick with the people you know. And then I had been sitting around some other people, so I kind of was like, hey, you wanna try to join in? But the groups that were set up where it was like you had to have a minimum of 4 people. Or no, sorry, you had to have at least 2 and a maximum of 4 people. And so we had 3 people. We had me, my buddy. Are we doing names? I forgot.
You can do code names.
Code names? Okay. I'm going to say me, Jared, and
Tiberius.
it's a girl.
Tiberius.
Tiberius.
All right. Me, Jared, and Tiberius
Tiberius the girl.
were basically, we had this group, and I was like, dude, this is going to be a sick group. And we were planning on getting this 3rd or 4th guy, but he ended up joining a different group because he wasn't there that day. And, I was like, fuck it, whatever. We got this fine. It's fine. We could do 3 people. We start splitting up the work, start talking about what we're going to do. And to explain this project, it's basically, we just have to talk about artists. We have to, make our own, what is it called? God.
Painting.
No, setup. We have to,
okay.
I forget what it's called.
Create like an art show kind of
Exhibit.
There we go. Yeah.
Exhibit A.
We have to create our own exhibit. That word was escaping me. But and so we start doing all the work that we need to do, and then we hear from the front of the class, this group, or we hear this guy, and this guy, he's sitting in front of the class, and he's that guy that he's super awkward, really awkward. He says things how most people after a presentation done, people clap or whatever. And
Right.
just, he would be the person who everyone would be clapping and he'd be like, wow, that took forever.
Oh my god.
But he's not. It's not because he's being a dick. It's because he just doesn't understand Like
he's just
Whoa.
so
Okay.
he's one of those people
He
like
just
that.
doesn't get it.
Like somebody else we know recently that they just oblivious, I guess.
I guess so. Yeah.
So he's not the smartest, but he can get work done. But we basically, I hear him from the front of the class and he's talking to another group, and the group says, "Oh yeah, we're full, so we can." I think they have 3 people, and they point to us, and that was I wanted to murder everyone in that group. Because I was like, you gotta be kidding me. And this kid comes walking over and is basically like, "Hey, how many people do you have in your group?" And we only had 3.
Oh no.
What's this kid's code name?
The
Archibald.
I'll call him Archibald. Yeah, Archibald.
Just sick code names, dude.
Yep.
I like it.
I'm kind of epic that way.
I'll be honest, I forgot the second one.
You got
Jared.
It was Jared
Tiberius.
Tiberius. That's the one I forgot. All right,
Jared's the least interesting name of all these.
it was the first
You
one.
got Tiberius the girl, Archibald,
The annoying
the
brat.
annoying one, and then Jared.
So basically, I'm not a
short for Jared's
person.
team.
I'm not a person who can turn somebody away. Okay, when somebody like walks to me like that, when somebody like asks for a group or like even just asks for help, I can't just be like, "Yeah, no, sorry." Unless I generally don't like, if somebody asks me for help and I generally don't know how to help them, I can't help them.
Right.
But like, I wanted this kid so badly to not be in our group that I just normally I'd like just say yes, but I couldn't say anything because I couldn't say no.
Yeah.
Because I'm not that person. So I just said nothing and like stared at Jared, and Jared's my buddy. He was the
You're like,
Right.
please handle
and I'm like,
this.
please handle this. And he like looked directly into my eyes and said, "Yeah, we only have 3 people." And like,
Jared.
no.
he can't do
let
it
me,
either.
Let me learn you a thing. All right, Jared. He couldn't do it either, and it wasn't. He was looking in my eyes, like smiling, like, "Yeah, we only have 3 people," as in like screw you. No, it was a cry of
help?
sadness,
Yeah.
of help, of like,
Please understand,
dude,
I
I
have no
am in
choice.
the same position you are in. Like, so
You're in.
this guy ended up joining our group.
Nice, dude.
Nice, yeah.
Got him.
Go on.
I did not see that coming. Anyway,
Why do we have to go for a Nazi joke?
because
Dude,
That's really disrespectful.
yeah.
Can you continue with your story though? Because I'm really intrigued.
yeah. So basically, I shove it off. I'm like, whatever. It's fine. We'll get him to do something. It'll be all good. Working with this kid was the most god awful thing, because again, he's super socially awkward, but he also didn't end up doing any work.
Of course not.
So that was the big thing. But every time we met up, he would just talk about weird stuff, like random things. There was one specific occasion where we met up as a group. I think this was the second time we met up as a group and we're all working. And like the girl, I got it. Tiberius was like over on her laptop doing some work, and I was like sitting down, like kind of making the layout for like the presentation. And she like looked up to, she like kind of looked up to me and kind of like did a little wave or something, like get my attention. I like looked over and she like just like whispered kind of like, "He's watching anime." And I'm like, "Are you
You might want to get that. You want to get that closer to the mic. I
She
don't-
basically said, "She's watching or he's watching anime." And I'm just like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" So this kid, again, this is a kid who's like super, not only is he super awkward, he also watches anime. And guys,
We're not
okay,
judging people who
yeah,
watch anime.
I'm not watching you or judging you for watching anime. Dude, I watch anime. I watch freaking all the animes. I'm a weeb, all right? But there comes a certain point when like
when it
that-
takes over your lifestyle.
yeah, it's already kind of like that. It's always got that stigma of kind of like, oh, people who watch anime are awkward. He like was that stereotype.
I don't.
It just
And honestly, there's a time and a place.
yeah.
right.
And
so-
while working on a group project is not the time or the place.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like I watch Dragon Ball Z every now and then. There's nothing wrong with that. But when I'm talking like posters all over your wall, like body pillows, like praising like your favorite waifu.
Shrines.
Like that's where
Saying certain things in Japanese even though you don't
jeez.
actually speak Japanese.
all according to Keikaku.
Gotcha.
Keikaku means plan.
But anyway, there was another situation. This was like the big kicker that just like it dumbfounded me so much that it threw me over the edge. I got to the point where I was like, you know what? It doesn't bother me anymore. It's hit maximum.
You've gone full circle.
I can't be bothered anymore. It was just something I had to deal with at that point. And I was sitting in the library and I was kind of angry because as far as I had known, I was the only one who had done work so far, basically.
Right.
We found the artists that we wanted to do and then we had to like go and research all of them and whatnot. As far as I know, which this wasn't true, but as far as I had known, I was the only one that was researching and I had researched like a fair bit of like all of them. And I was feeling really like just angry because I'm like, God, nobody's doing any work. Turns out,
what was Jared and Tiberius doing?
Jared and Tiberius. So Jared had actually done some. Jared was kind of like, he didn't do anything on the artist, but as soon as I gave him work, he like got it done, no problem. So he wasn't a problem. He did his job perfectly fine. Tiberius, she did a lot of the work, and she was the person who like at the end like did all the styling, all the details and stuff.
Right.
And she did her work, but she was really quiet about it. She didn't really say anything, and she wouldn't like share her work at the start. Later on, eventually, we kind of got into communicating because I think we kind of started connecting a little more as a group. But like, I basically had no knowledge of what my other teammates are doing. I'm just sitting here like doing all the work, so I was already angry. And this kid walks up to me. He's like, "Oh hey," and I'm like, "Oh hey," and he's like, how's the work going?" And that was a bit of a nerve snacker right there because I'm just like, it's going great, you know.
How's yours?
Yeah, I was kind of angry at that, but I just kind of shrugged it off. And then he kind of just sat there for a while, and I just continued my work. I just tried to like ignore him, like screw it, whatever. I gotta get this done. And then he's like, Where's everyone else? Because we were supposed to be meeting that day, and nobody actually showed up.
Right.
But I'm sitting there, and I'm just like, I don't know. I think I think Tiberius is here, but I'm not sure where she actually is. And I wanted to get started before I started looking for her. Mm-hmm. And he was like, "Oh, I don't know her face." So
how long have you been working on this project?
This was like, okay, we've known each other for like a week probably because the teacher gave us an entire week. We didn't come to class for an entire week to finish this project. Okay. Ironically, we barely worked on the project that week, but that's besides the point.
That's how group projects go.
Exactly. They always get done at the last second. But so I was like, or he's like, I don't know her face. So do you think you could walk around with me and like find her? And I was like, I just want to get this done. I really don't want to do this. But I was like, fine, yeah, sure. So we walked around the library, and I kind of low-key knew she wasn't there. Like, I had a feeling she was probably around college, and she was probably doing work, but she just wasn't in the library, maybe to specifically avoid him, because he was being especially weird to her.
Oh, God.
He kind of had that look of a creeper, God. And he kind of talked like him, too. I never...
You don't want to make assumptions.
Yeah, I don't want to make assumptions, but it just kind of...
Yeah, anyway. I got you.
Not going to get into that. That's not what this story's about. So we're sitting there, or I get done looking around the library, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know really where she is. And I just kind of sat down and started working again. And he just kind of looked at me, and he went, what's that? And I look at him, and I'm like, what's what? He points at me, he's like, what's that? And I'm thinking like, okay, maybe like my hair's messed up, or maybe I got something on my face, whatever. And I'm like, what? And I start like looking around my body, and he points directly at my neck, and he's like, what's that? And I'm like, my Adam's apple? And he's like, yeah, I don't think I have one of those. That's weird. And I'm like,
well, that confirms my theory.
Like, this is what threw me overboard, because I wasn't sure if this person was just so ignorant that they actually didn't know what an Adam's apple was, and they actually were like confused, or if they were really so awkward that they just were trying to make small talk so badly. I don't know which it was, but I was just at that point it threw me over, and I just had to smile. I was like, oh yeah, and I lost it. I was just like, you know what? It doesn't matter anymore. This is fine. He's part of our group. That's it. Like I'm just gonna have to deal with it. And from that point on, it didn't really bother me because I couldn't be surprised anymore.
Yeah,
it was just kind of fuel to the fire that I was just like, oh yeah, okay, it got worse, but whatever. I mean, it's there. You know, it was just constantly there.
You can't possibly go farther than. What is that?
Yeah,
I mean,
Look,
I will say,
you've never seen one before.
I will say, the three of us do have pretty pronounced Adam's apples.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Me and my brother have really crazy Adam apples that it actually kind of bothers me sometimes. But at the same time, it's
has this gentleman never seen another man? Like,
I mean, he's
how old
looking
is
at
he?
anime girls all day. So I mean,
What's your estimate? How old is this guy?
I would assume.
running start.
Either anywhere he could have been running start. I really don't know. He looked like, you know how the pedophile, like stereotypical pedophile, like
The mustache.
old man, the like mustache.
Old? He was old?
No,
Okay.
he wasn't. But he looked like an old man in a child's body. He looked like an old
God.
pedophile in a child's body. He had like that short cut hair. He had the neck beard. He had that mustache that had like that pedo stash.
Gross.
And he actually later in the quarter he got it like cut up and he actually like shaved and he cleaned
Thank
himself up.
God.
He actually looked a lot better, I'll be honest. But he looked, again, I don't like to make assumptions, but he was just kind of weird, so I was just like,
I know what you mean, yeah.
But it was just something that you kind of noticed. You never, again, I don't really make assumptions, but it was just kind of there.
Right.
It didn't help the whole situation that had already been going on. That's really like the story. The rest of the project we actually got done. I kind of freaked out because like nobody had been talking and I'd kind of been voicing all the work that I'd been doing.
Right.
And eventually, like, you know, Tiberius got back to me and she's like, oh yeah, I've been doing some work too. You know, I got all this done. And at that point, I split up sections because it was on Friday, I had looked because we had the presentation schedule for the next
Right.
week. On Friday, I had looked and I don't remember the exact date, but it was like the 21st. And I'm like, okay. And I looked at the calendar, and the 21st was Tuesday. And I'm like, okay. Little did I know, he had marked Monday and Tuesday as the 21st. We were scheduled for Monday.
Mm-hmm.
I was planning to meet with the group on Monday to finish everything up.
Oh, man.
I realized this on Sunday.
Oh, Jesus.
Now, because I happened to just look at the schedule again. So I'm like, I start freaking out because we're like nowhere near done.
Right.
So I like message the group. I'm like, we gotta figure this out now. Like, I'm gonna message the teacher, but you know, we gotta whatever. Start working on this. And at that point, I started like dishing out orders because
Right.
I was like, I need to get this done. So I was like, you're doing this, you're doing this, you're doing this. That's just how it's gonna go.
Right.
And if you don't do it, your fault. I'm sorry, but
Right.
so. And it was short notice, but I ended up talking to the teacher, and the teacher's like, you know what? I completely understand. I turned out to be the only one who actually messaged him with a problem.
Right.
And everyone else wasn't ready, basically, except for like one other group.
Right.
He got super pissed at the class. But we got moved to Thursday. Well, originally we got moved to Tuesday, but then he just moved us to Thursday.
All right.
So we had
That's
enough
very
time.
generous.
Yeah, right? I was like, oh. So we ended up basically kind of slacking off again and using that extra time. But we got the project done, you know, everything went fine.
Right.
And the teacher did something that I both really respect and really hate.
Oh.
Part of the grade of the whole project, there was like a certain things, there was like this, you have to turn in this, you have to turn in this, you have to turn in this. One of those things was a list that lists all the members of the group and what they did.
Joy.
You know what? Yeah, I respect it because it's a good way to tell the teacher that, hey, this person was useless without telling the teacher, hey, this person was useless.
Right.
But at the same time, I had to be the person who wrote it. So
Hey, you know what?
I'm not that kind of person, okay? Ever since I had an experience back in like, I think it was like elementary school, I had to grade people on like if I could hear them. I like sat in the back of the class. And this teacher got like angry at me because I was grading people too nicely. And I was like,
I remember
I don't like grading
that,
people, okay? I hate grading people. It makes me so anxious. It makes me nervous. I feel bad for the person. I hate it.
Yeah, but you don't want to like sell anybody out.
Exactly, that too. So basically what I did was I just put, what us three did, me, Jared, and Tiberius. And then for Archibald, I just kind of wrote his name. And then I kind of put a dash, like as this, and I didn't write anything.
That's hilarious.
And then
good
under all, I put presenting and like researching potential artists under everyone. And I was like, that was my way of giving him something.
Yeah.
Without
he was at least included.
Exactly.
In the all.
Right.
So. And then the teacher, a few days later, the teacher sent me a message on like the main Canvas page, and he was like, "Hey, I just wanted to know, did this person really not do anything?" And nobody responded to it for like, I didn't want to respond to it. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna leave it. I already wrote the list. I don't want to respond to this. And then, nobody responded to it, and it was like the end of the day, and I'm like, you know, I really don't want to like leave this unresponded. So I responded to it and I said simply what the list said. I said he helped us present and he helped like for potential artists. That's all I said. Yeah. I could have like gone off and be like, oh, he was useless, oh, he was creepy, oh, he's weird. It's like, no, he did these things. And that's it. And then I left that project. We did the project. It went fine. I got an A. So
wow, really? Damn.
Yeah, I got a 95. I felt good.
Wonder what they got.
I think the rest of my group got plenty, except that one guy. I'm not really sure what he got.
Probably
but
didn't get very high.
I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah.
The point is, that's behind me. I don't have to worry about that ever again because I'm done with that quarter.
You know, I feel like group projects are just like fail by design.
For sure, yeah.
Yes.
It's really just. I understand in the sense of like, oh, it's a lot of work. We don't want to give it all to one person. But that's what it ends up being anyway. And it's with the expectation that other people will do something. And that doesn't end up happening.
Well,
ever.
Honestly, something I don't like about group projects, especially if it's like I had one in a history class, right? So if we're doing a history group project, then like...
That doesn't even make any sense.
The only way... Well, it was like we were talking about one... like specific event in history.
Oh, okay, that makes a little more sense.
In order to like actually understand and put together a cohesive like presentation, you have to understand what happened beginning to end in all aspects of it, right? So if you split it up with individual people doing certain parts, then everybody only understands maybe a fifth of what actually happened.
Right? Yeah.
So like it's inherently flawed because everyone will actually understand less.
Because like
than if you
history
had just done all the work yourself.
History's got that weird point too, because like especially because you can't just learn like, for example, say you learn the start. All right, say we'd split up between us three.
Right.
You learn the start, I learn the middle, Kyle learns the end. All right. You learn the start, so you know what's going on. You know what instigated this. I learned the middle. I got no freaking clue what's going on.
Context.
I'm just like, okay, there's war. There's like this thing. What? Why though?
But
like it just makes no sense. And then Kyle gets the butt end of the stick. He's just like, oh hey, it ended. Like it just.
They signed a paper.
I feel like not only are you not learning anything, you're also super confused.
But yeah, to even like understand and be able to present on what happened in the middle, you have to like actually do the research and understand what happened in the beginning so that you know what the hell you're talking about. Well, so you get to that point, you're like, I've already done all the research. I might as well just put it on the project.
Well, so most teachers actually like, I actually have a small rant to do what you just said, but most teachers go into the assumption, I would assume at least, I've never really asked, that like, oh, everyone, knows the information. It's just who's presenting it. Well, if everyone knows the information, why do we have to do this in a group? Why can't we do this separately? Like, the only thing I can think of is why the group is like, if you're standing up there with other people, you don't feel as like nervous.
Yeah.
Like you still feel nervous, but it's like, hey, I got other people who are sharing in my public humility, so at least I got that to look forward to.
But I could always argue that rather than doing a presentation, you could just do an essay, which is just a presentation but
written down.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is probably like more cohesive and well thought out than any presentation you'll ever do.
Exactly.
So why?
We're trying to teach you like how to do public speaking, but like not everyone's gonna do public speaking in their life.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to make a small rant towards the thing where you were like, oh, it's like double the work or whatever. I had an archaeology class, and this is probably the class. This is the hardest class I've ever taken. It was actually an anthropology class, but it was about archaeology, basically.
Okay.
Most interesting class in terms of how it was set up, and probably like pretty well set up, but also like really badly set up. And I'll get to explain.
You're explaining this really well.
Yeah, I'm terribly explaining. So basically,
It was really hard, but it was really easy.
okay, the easy part of it was like the research project. The research project was amazing. I wish every teacher did this research project type. So basically, how it went is you had a research project every week, right? That sounds like a lot of work, right?
That's
a research project
But
every
it's
week.
like a small kind of project. Yeah.
No, let me say this.
Okay.
70 pages.
Once a week?
You read 70 pages
Oh.
at the minimum, and you write 6 pages of research essay. Now, hold on. That sounds like a lot of work. That's how she presented it. And at first, I'm like, I'm gonna die. I'm literally
Yeah.
gonna die in this
Yeah.
class.
I'm going to become one of these fossils that we're
I'm
looking at.
going. They're gonna have to discover my body, and when they find it, they're gonna be like, God, this guy's from some ancient. Look at the text he had. Look at these. There's pages upon pages. But no, like
buried in them.
Yeah, that's how he died. He buried
Buried in
himself
the
in notes.
workload.
But like, that sounds like a lot of work. And then she's like, well, really, what you're doing is 6 pages of notes. And I'm like, okay, that doesn't sound so bad.
Yeah. 6
Then-
pages of notes on.
And then she starts getting into it. She's like, okay, 70 pages, but you only have to do 1 note every 3rd page. And as long as you write 4 pages of notes, that's an A. Because it goes on a grading scale. It's like, this is an A, this is a B, this is a... If you want an A, you do this.
Right.
And if you do this, I'm not docking you. You've done the work.
Yeah.
Which, I really like that because it's like, I've done the work, regardless how good it is. I mean, I've still put in the effort. I still understand it. If I don't, I'll go to you for help. That's
Right.
kind of that's the point of learning. Like,
Right.
So that was like the best research project I've ever done because I actually got interested. I can recite more information about that research project I did, which I did about the Aztecs. Freaking amazing society, by the way. But I can recite more about the Aztecs than any society I learned about in that class because the notes were terrible in that class because we had to do them really freaking crazy and there was so much. And I'm terrible. I'm really slow at making notes, so that class killed me. But
Yeah.
I didn't learn like anything about those societies because I basically just, again, absorbed the knowledge and threw it up on the test and then just
Gross.
right? Yeah. Bleh. But like yeah, it was just a really cool research project. But that was just a small rant, so sorry.
Did you
Go
have
ahead.
more you want to talk about your history project?
Oh, not really. The history project I had was not that bad actually.
Oh, okay.
Like the history class itself was.
How was your
terrible.
group?
My group. Let's see.
Was there any like
So we
bad
had-
apples?
We had. Okay, so it was me. 2 people were really good. I'm not gonna bother naming them all because then I don't want to come up with
All right,
names.
Yeah.
Todd 1
But-
and Todd 2.
No, it's just essentially like there were 2 good people, 2 people that like kind of did some work, and 1 person who I didn't see until like a couple days before we presented.
Oh, that's always-
Didn't even know what he looked like.
There's always one of those.
Right.
Usually.
Yeah. So
There's like the stereotypes of research project or group project people.
Yeah, the project itself wasn't that bad of like a horror story. Like yours was pretty bad. Just that one dude. I wouldn't want to deal with that. But I didn't have anything like that. It's just like your typical annoying group project, and I already like made complaints about what I don't like about group projects, and so like that pretty much encompasses what was going on there. But I would say that. Oh, thanks, buddy.
I was just looking at the audio lines.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
It's
know
like
if it's-
super quiet.
Well,
I don't talk loud
I keep
enough.
like leaning in, and I'm like, I'm the loudest person here. I need to lean back. Like, I need to be way back.
I know,
here.
and I was leaning back there, so I was
Yeah.
like, this is not helping.
But sorry about that.
But the funniest thing was like when we presented our project, we had not rehearsed that at all.
God.
Jesus.
We hadn't even we had a Google Docs thing for
Yeah.
our slides, so like you could go through and look. But I guarantee nobody else looked at anyone other's slides than like the one they were assigned, right? So like I show up, I had the first slide, so I just did a little intro, and I step back. I'm like, let's see what happens.
Let's watch the puppy burn.
So yeah, for just like 12 minutes, I just sat there. And I was like, oh, cool. This is I've never seen any of this before, but all right, I guess it
News
works.
to me.
Hey, I got it. I got
Russia
nailed
got
the project.
attacked. Man, that's That's pretty cool.
I got an A on the project, so I was like, all right,
Yeah.
cool.
You know, if we're gonna be, God, if we're gonna be talking about group projects, I feel like I should throw mine in
Got
mine
a
in the
nightmare
hat.
of a tale.
A nightmare of a tale. I don't know if I've told you. I'm pretty sure I told you guys the whole story, but this was like 2 years ago.
Maybe.
I think yours is probably the worst.
On
Yeah.
the nightmare before finals,
No, it wasn't not for finals.
they were all asleep or something.
So-
I can't rhyme. I'm sorry.
You didn't even try to.
No, I
rhyme.
didn't. I didn't even try. I'm not good at it.
Yeah, I rhymed finals with sleep.
Yeah.
Finals
I'm a
with
pro.
finals.
Dude, I'm a freaking poet.
You didn't even.
No, I freaking
didn't-
knew it.
No, you're a poet, and I didn't even figure that out.
Oh.
But okay, so so for those of you who are unaware, my two co-hosts are both in college. I am not, and that's not because I'm a dumbass.
You used to be, though.
I used to be a dumbass.
No, in college. Yeah, you used to be just a dumbass.
You
Kyle.
were really
You got
just a
better.
fuckface.
You definitely got better.
No,
but
okay, no. So what happened was I changed career paths, and the career that I want to go for does not require college. And I'm like, well, okay, I'd rather leave now and regret not doing it now than regret doing it then and having all that time wasted. Because since I didn't do college, I was able to get a really nice job, and I was able to move out, which is really great, which is where we're recording now.
Yeah,
which,
dude, you're killing it right now.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, if you're wondering why the audio sounds a little different, it might be a little echoey. I apologize, but
Yeah, we need to get some shit on your walls, dude.
yeah, well,
Not real shit, that'd be bad.
I'm planning on it, but
There's shit on the walls.
So
It's everywhere.
So I went to 2 quarters of my college. The first one was when I was trying to go into computer tech.
Is this
and
college?
IT.
This story is in college or is this in high school?
This is in college.
Okay.
So I didn't actually have a lot of group project stories from high school. To be honest, most of them were people I
tame.
like.
Yeah, you worked with like friends.
Because
and so it
when
wasn't that
I'm in high school, I know everybody. So like, okay, I know you, I like you. If there's a group project, I'm latching on to you guys.
Well, even like there was a lot of high school like. I need to chill out here. Give me a second here.
You're good.
Like I'm freaking out. Anyway,
Look at me. Look at me. You okay?
Yeah,
You okay?
I'm alright.
All right.
Alright.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am good.
You're good.
Yeah,
You're good.
I'm good.
All right.
I told you I'm good. But no, for real. Like there was like most people complain about group projects in high school. Like they had these super crazy like, oh, I had to do a 20-page essay with these people, or I had to do this presentation that had to last 2 hours, and you're like,
Right.
I never had those. What do you like? Did you go to a different like world than me? Like what is this? Because like in high school, yeah, even if you had group projects, it was something that didn't really matter. It was like, oh, go ahead and like talk about this thing for like 5 minutes or something, or like do this art project with somebody. It
Right.
wasn't
it
super
tended to be,
crazy.
like, pretty insignificant.
Yeah.
Right.
And the teacher was usually pretty lenient about it. But anyway,
So, the first quarter I did computer tech stuff because that's what I was trying to do. And halfway through the quarter, I was like, I don't like this. I don't think I'm gonna do this long term. I'm not getting it super well. And then like everyone around me was getting it way more than I was. So I'm like, I think I need to like shift ideas. And I decided that after a long like bit of thinking, I decided maybe real estate would be cool because I'm a big house fan, and my family has a long history of real estate. So I figured it'd be something I could get into.
you do it for free.
It's free real estate, but
Nice meme, dude.
good me.
Gotta insert they maymays every so often.
So
Please kill me if I ever say
decided-
maymays again.
Meme?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you just did.
You just did so. All right,
Oh,
get him.
well,
Yeah.
No.
Here's a knife.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Kill it.
Whoa,
Dude,
you do not have
whoa,
weapons on the
Jesus,
table.
I'm
Can
sorry.
you put that away, please?
Jesus. All right. Okay. So,
God.
I decided I wanted to do real estate, and so I talked to my counselor. I'm like, hey, you know what? I think this would be a better choice for me. I don't think I want to do the computer tech stuff anymore. She was like, well, if you want to go into real estate, you don't super need college, but if you want to kind of like keep going to college, you should take these classes because they don't like get you in a degree to like get you to help into it. They get you knowledge to help you get into it. I'm like, all right, I guess that's fine. I mean, that's not a huge deal to me. That's fine.
Yeah.
So she recommended I only took 2 classes that quarter because I was trying to mellow out because I just got a job around that time. So to college success, which was whatever, I had it with a friend, and business management, which was the class that she recommended to me because it kind of teaches me like how to work with a business and stuff,
Yeah.
which is part of real estate.
Yeah.
So, what?
I'm giggling because you said I had a class with a friend, and I was trying to figure out which friend. I was gonna like say his name.
You know who it is.
I know who it is, but I was gonna say a different person's name because I thought it was that person.
No, it wasn't that person.
And I was trying to think of a name for him, and I the first name I thought of was rhyming to his name, and it was Gordon Ramsay.
Well, it's not the friend that had that class.
Yeah, I know, but it just
No,
it
not
broke
the
me.
other friend either.
Yeah, it
Okay,
broke
anyway.
me. But I just sorry. Continue,
You mean the only person we've subscribed
Yeah,
to?
yeah.
By the way, go sub to Gordon Ramsay.
dude. He's the best.
Yeah,
He's the best.
He needs your help.
He needs our help.
He's the
Yeah.
best worst person in the world.
Also, Gordon Ramsay, please sponsor us. So, going back to this project thing, my teacher told me pretty much it was one of those projects where like I'm gonna tell you at the start of the quarter, get it done by the end of the quarter. You know, one of those, and which means do it in the last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Of course.
what ended up happening? What he told us was the project is pretty much we have to make a non-profit company and like do something for like the community that helps the community. I thought he meant like just make it up. He was serious. Like make and start a company and like execute it. And
I need you to make a company.
ludicrous.
It's like
and you know,
I need a little more money
Well,
for that.
Yeah.
I knew I was kind of damned when I walked into class the first day, and it was 75% like 30s and 40-year-olds.
Oh yeah.
So like a lot of like adults who went back to college so they can learn how to get into business.
Right.
And like 6 high school graduates, you know. So, and like on the first day we had like a introduction thing where we were talking about like all the things that are like why we're taking this class. One girl who was one of the high school graduates was even like, I don't even know why I'm taking this class. And I'm like, well, that's a winner.
Well, for some of my electives, I've definitely felt that way.
Right.
But I've never
Well, that's-
super disliked a class that I've taken. I've eventually found something that I like about it.
That's just a very specific class to take without having interest in it. But I'm sorry, I'm trying to collect everything because it's a lot to unpack.
I'm trying to, I've repressed these
so
memories.
You're trying to go back to that place.
Well, pretty much on the first day, he was like, all right, split up into your groups. And immediately, all the like smart, outgoing adults picked each other. And they're all latched to each other. And we had 4 groups, and they're all like latched to each other in their own groups. And I got stuck with all the high school students, which none of us know how to do any of this shit.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I really wish that the professor would have been like, we'll take one of the high school students, put like 1 or 2 in each group so that they can kind of be guided along the responsible adults. God, I wish it would have happened, but it did not happen like that. So
Did you ever talk to Professor?
I did.
Okay.
I'll go back to that later.
At least you made him. You at least made an effort.
Right. So I ended up being with a group, and I actually wrote them down. I have their code names set up. So,
Man, you came prepared.
yeah. So I actually was doing that while we were talking. I had
Oh, thanks.
it was 4 high school students along with me. Being it was Michael, Jessica, Luna, and Catherine. And there was an adult who was like a single mother lady named Emily. And we get into the group and we're like, we don't know what to do. What do we know? What would we know how to do? Like, this is not something that this is not a strong suit. This is something that we just fucking waltzed into and did not expect to be having this behemoth of a project.
Yeah.
And Emily was the only adult, and so she was trying to like kind of take the reins, but she was not a very responsible lady, I'll say. I could tell by the vape in her jacket pocket.
Oh, cool.
So, going off.
Great
I don't know,
sign right off the bat.
I don't really discredit people with vapes because like some people use that to like quit smoking.
Well, I don't
It's
know
like
really
what
how to
women-
describe it further,
But at the same time, like
It's a vibe.
I understand what
Yeah.
you're talking about.
So she was telling us, she got really personal, like right away. She was telling us like we should do something involving domestic abuse,
Oh, jeez.
like helping people who are going through domestic abuse.
Oh, okay. I was like, that's a
And
weird topic to
because
jump
she
into
said
for a company.
because she said she
We
like
specialize in domestic abuse.
Yeah,
Right.
we
Well,
you need some domestic abuse? We got that for you.
She
It's
said
like,
she-
what?
she said she had experienced it before in her life.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, okay, it's something like personal to you.
Yeah.
Like we can work off of that, and we can. That sounds fucked up, but like we can
Yeah.
we can capitalize on
I know
your
what you,
your
I know what
fucking-
you mean.
your horrible lifetime. but we were able to like be like, okay, well, we can. I don't know how like a non-douchey way of saying that, but like we can. It's something that you know very well.
Use
so
it from experience.
Yes, right. Use your experience. Yes. Okay. So we were like, all right, that's fine. And we decided that what we'd do is pretty much we'd make like these care packages that we would give to like families that are like struggling with that, so they can get out of the house, because a big problem that a lot of women face is they don't like have the finance to like leave as much as they want to.
They don't have the resources.
Right.
They can't.
And so that's what we tried to provide that for them.
Send them wood and stone.
Yes.
Get them resources.
Yeah, so they can make a workbench.
So they can make a stairway out.
Oh, that's true. Are we talking Fortnite or Minecraft?
Both.
Okay.
They're basically the same thing.
I'm not even going to talk about this. So I was like, all right, that's all fine and dandy. We can do this. And, a few weeks passed. We didn't do anything. We kind of had a group project, or like a group chat together that we'd be like, all right, we need to talk about it. One of the girls, Jessica, never showed up for class. And the whole class was pretty much on a computer program, so we always had to bring our laptops to the class. But hers couldn't run that program for some reason, so she couldn't do anything the whole class. So she'd either not go or just do nothing. And that would have been fine for the class itself, but not for the project. That was harrowing on us. And eventually we got to the last few weeks, and the professor's like, all right, I'm gonna let you like work on this, on your own. We'll give you like all this like few weeks to work on it.
Yeah.
And we tried several times to meet up. Emily kept trying to say like we should meet at my house, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to your house, because she lived like really far away, and ew. So like I was not if you like saw her or anything like that, you understand why I'm saying I don't want to go to your house.
Watch, she lives in some fucking mansion. They're just like perfectly pristine, clean. You're just completely reading it wrong.
Maybe, but it's just like, oh my god, it was. She kept trying to get us to meet at the house. I'm like, why don't we just meet at the library?
Yeah.
That's somewhere we all know how to get there.
Yeah, it's local.
We don't have to. Like, I don't know.
Why don't you just leave it or like meet at the college librabary? That's what we always did.
That's what we're planning on doing.
Yeah,
but
it's like you're already there.
She's like, why don't we meet at my house? I'm like, I don't want to drive out to your house. I don't. And all of us, all of us other people who are all high school students did not want to do that either.
Yeah.
So we're like stranger danger,
Yeah.
So we kept trying to go to the library. We met a couple times, but really didn't get a lot done. That's one of the things where we're there and we're just like, well, we know what we're doing already. We just have to do it, and we wouldn't do it.
And then you don't do it. Yeah.
So,
that happened a few times in my project.
So we carry on. We're in the last few weeks, and so we were in the last few weeks, and we were all like had to crack down, go to the library, and like start like getting. Oh, also alongside of this making the company thing, we had to write a like a booklet thing, pretty much that was all like a bunch of questions. That was like how to like run the company and what everyone did and everything.
Yeah.
That was like 50 pages, I think, and then
Jesus.
We had to make a slideshow, and so the girl Catherine was like, "Look," she told us from like pretty much day one. She's like, "Look, I'm not doing any of this. This is not my forte. I am a horribly socially awkward person. I don't want to go out and talk to people, so I will do the whole essay.
Oh, okay.
If you do all that stuff."
That works.
And I was like, you know what?
That's pretty.
That's fine.
Okay. I thought she was just gonna be like, "Yeah, I'm out." It's like,
well,
the fuck.
She ended up doing all of it, but it was like 25 questions, and question 23 was like 23 A B C D E F G H I J. So she did all of 23, which was great, super helpful, and she actually went above and beyond, which I was really proud of her for that, because she said she was like she's more into writing stuff, so kudos for her.
Yeah.
I wasn't too pissed at her. The other kid, Michael, he was the kid I kind of talked to the most, because I guess I related to him the most. And because we were both like, we don't really want to do this, but we have to do this. Let's just get our shit together and start doing it. So we kept making plans together. And Luna was the most awful person to talk to, because let me show you why he's so awful. Why he's so awful to talk to.
You only like start a conversation.
No. Like, let me show you why he's so awful to talk to me. Just ask me any basic question.
How you doing?
Well, you're just looking at like the weather outside. The sunshine makes me feel happy, so I guess I would say I'm doing pretty good. That's how he talks every time about anything. He would just have one-word sentences. He would keep talking and talking in that slow, monotone drawl. And every time I talked to him, I wanted to drill my ears out.
I feel like that wouldn't be bad for like first few days, but after if that kept going on,
when we were on a time crunch,
give me an answer.
and I'm trying to ask him questions, I felt so bad. I ended up having to cut him off so many times. Be like, "Hey, are you done with this?" He's like, "Well, I've got this time." Okay, good. And I leave because I'm like, I don't want to keep listening to you. You do you. Which,
I've got 25 minutes to finish this project. I gotta get it done.
Similar to Archibald, he was just watching YouTube a lot of the time when we were trying to work, and it was very frustrating. I remember like one time I had to walk over and be like, "Hey, what you doing?" Well, he was doing that, and he like closed out. I was like, "Oh, I'm working." I'm like, "No, you're not, but now you are because I caught you." So what ended up happening is we had Luna working on a few questions. We had me working on a few questions. I tried to take a little bit more. We had Catherine working on that big question, and then Jessica and Michael working on the PowerPoint, because we also had to do a PowerPoint. I don't know if I mentioned that.
Nope.
We had to do a PowerPoint as well for the presentation.
No, I think you mentioned that.
I might have.
There's the PowerPoint and then the essay thing.
And then the
questions.
actually doing the company part.
Yeah.
And we were going to have Emily focus on that because, she has...
What do you mean? Did you have to, file a report or whatever? Did you have to, make the company without actually making it?
We actually had to make it. We had to, That's the funny part. We don't know.
Because I don't know how the fuck you make a company, to be honest.
Well,
I would assume it starts with copywriting a name.
We didn't.
And maybe
We didn't. That's how it ended. We didn't.
Okay, you just didn't.
Cool.
We didn't. We tried.
Right.
I would ask other groups, and like, so how do you do this? Like, well, first you have to go to this place and do this. I'm like, okay, so I went there, and I'm like, how do you do this? And they're like, I don't know. And I'm like, well, great.
Cool.
Thanks for the help. And they'll be like, I'll be like, oh, I need this. I'll be like, no, you don't. You need to do this. And I'm like, well, how do I do that? He's like, by doing all this shit that you don't have time to do.
Ain't that just the stem of capitalism right there?
So, fast forward, we're in the last few days, and the whole essay is done. The PowerPoint's almost done. And what the PowerPoint pretty much was taking the essay and turning it into a PowerPoint form that's more presentable with pictures and stuff. Another thing that Emily was doing, she was taking pictures for the slideshow, which was fun. And here comes the worst part of the presentation.
Oh, geez.
We're getting to the thick of it at this point. So the worst part was the very day before. It was Sunday night at 10 or something.
Yeah.
And I was telling everyone, I was like, we got everything done by then. We're like, all right, we're all good. We can just relax for this last day before I'll turn it into night, and we'll be done with it. So it was Michael and Jessica who finished the PowerPoint. And then I get a text from Emily saying, hey, I finished the PowerPoint, here you go. And I'm like, we already did it. What do you mean? She's like, well, I was trying to do it, but they wouldn't listen to me, so I did it myself. And I'm like, well, we already did it. We don't need another one. And she was like, well, they were doing it wrong. This is how you're supposed to do it. And I'm like, okay, well, let me look at it. And I looked at it. I'm like, this is empty. There's nothing on this. It's a lot of pictures and other crap. This is not what the PowerPoint asked for. And she's like, no. This is how we're supposed to do it because we don't want to have too much on the PowerPoint. I'm like, the syllabus asks for everything on the PowerPoint. Yeah. This is what it wanted us to do.
Yeah.
And she was telling me, just turn mine in, and I'll explain it. I'll explain it to you tomorrow about how we're gonna divvy up how we're gonna present it, because we already had that plan with the last one. We had each slide was numbered. We would take these numbers. We knew how we were gonna do it. So we had about a 1.5 hour conversation or argument saying, no, this one's right. And she was like, no, mine is right. I'm like, I'm gonna turn this one. She's like, we're gonna fail if you turn that in, and I'm not gonna fail because of you. And I'm like,
did you end up turning in hers?
Well, it was 11:50 at night, and I was like, I can't keep doing this. And she's like, I'm gonna turn mine in. And I'm like, all right, we'll turn yours in. We'll see how that works. And if you're wrong, this is on you. She's like, all right, that's fine, but I know I'm not wrong. So, get to class the next day. We were all supposed to dress nice, dress formal. We had all suits. Yeah. Everyone did that, except Luna, who was in a sweatshirt and khaki shorts. And I told them, dude, did you not remember? He's like, oh, well, I guess I just forgot that we were doing this today. And I'm like, I hate you. Everything that
How do
you
you
stand
forget?
for.
I just imagine he's like, well, I kind of forgot, and you're just like, you're literally just staring at him. It's like, I hate you. I hate everything
pretty much
you exist.
almost said that. I'm not sure if I should share this part in the podcast because it's a little TMI, but I'm gonna do it anyway because it adds fun to the story.
All right, do it.
And a little flavor.
Gross warning, just so you guys know. So before the presentation started, I had to use the bathroom.
Oh no.
So
does this even pertain to the topic?
This is pertaining to the topic very much.
Okay.
I had my suit on and everything. So I was like, I was pacing a lot. I was pacing a lot. I was very nervous. I'm like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom 4%. So I go to the bathroom, and by the time I'm walking there, I realized, oh, I really gotta pee, just because I'm nervous as shit. And so I go up to the urinal, and I try to pee, and my ding-dong gets stuck on the zipper.
Oh.
So,
dude.
Yeah.
Is that even possible? Like,
look.
Okay,
I'm not gonna
talk
explain
about
how.
it. Yeah, this isn't. We'll talk about this later. I wanna get a little more I was about to say
get a little more
ding dong
ding-dong.
knowledge right there. No,
ding dong details.
a little more
So-
detail on that. But we'll
ding-dong.
So now I'm
leave
going
that for
back
later.
to the presentation with my pants wet. And
And in pain.
Now I'm just pissed off at that point. I've actually reached the point of like you said, full circle.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, let's see how else this could go
Yeah,
wrong.
You get to the point where you just start enjoying it.
Yeah,
you're just
so-
like, hey,
Fuck
it.
look,
It's-
it got worse.
It's
man,
about
this
to get
is
even
great.
worse.
Yeah.
So I get back to the class, and my professor tells me, oh, so this is like this is like a really like well-known class. The superintendent's gonna be here. He's gonna be watching, and we're going to be filming it. And I'm like, that's good. I want this to happen. I want more. Give me more. Come on. Let my parents come in and be watching this whole thing, How about the girl I like or something? That'd be great. Let's just something like that, Like let's make it worse. Let's make all of my future like possible like bosses come in just so they can watch me with my piss-stained short and my piss-stained fucking black slacks present this awful PowerPoint. So I said we're gonna present last because I'm not. We didn't go last. We went second to last. I'm like, I don't want to be very, very last, but I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
So we kind of like prolonged a little bit. I wanted to see how other people did, so I could get kind of a general idea.
Right.
So the first people went up, and
You immediately
off-
regret that
first
you were
off-
not the first.
first off, they went way above and beyond. They pretty much did a similar thing to us, where we made like care packages.
Yeah.
We made 7. They made 300.
Oh my god.
And they actually like went out and had like pictures and experiences with like homeless people because they're helping homeless people out.
Oh my god.
And when I was watching their PowerPoint, guess who was right the whole time?
Was it you?
It was me.
It was you.
It was me.
Hey.
What a surprise.
So I had the PowerPoint
Didn't
right,
expect that
and I like
one.
looked over her. She was not looking at me. I'm like, yeah, you know what you did. And so we finally get to us after being like, okay, these people are so much better than us and so much more. Like, hey, we're all peppy. One person made a movie. And I'm like, oh my God. So we get up there and I'm like, this is awful. Let's get this over with. We had to present, I think, 20 minutes or 15 minutes. 15 minutes. And I'm like, that's fine. She told us, she's like, I'm going to start out because I'm going to talk about like my personal experience with this. That'll get kind of like some traction going.
Yeah.
And she's like, we like, wrote down like how long each thing's going to take. She wrote down hers would be 7 minutes. So half the presentation. And then each slide would take like 2 or 3. I'm like, cool, that's fine.
yeah.
She talked for a minute and a half.
Oh.
So, and like stumbling over her words and everything, not knowing what to say, and like being really awkward. So we start going through the slides. They're barren. Nobody knows what to say. We didn't do a project. We didn't do the company part because we didn't know how. And at one point we talked about how she talked to like this shelter for like women like that, for like women in those kind of situations.
Yeah.
And I talked about how like we went there, we totally did. And I was like, yeah, we did this, we did that, we talked to some people, and it's really cool. And she was like, oh, it's not a shelter. And I'm like, you were the one who found it out, so why don't you explain what it is? Why don't you correct me now while we're presenting instead of doing it before when we already rehearsed this? And so she corrects me, and we kept going on with it, and we finished. By the way, one slide was empty. One
Just
slide was
empty?
completely empty.
So it was
I
just
don't know why
white
it's there. And like I looked over at
my-
Michael, we're just like, oh my god. And then we just finished it. And I looked at the timer. We'd been talking for 8 minutes. So we were halfway through. And I was like about to tear up at that point.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm gonna take this by the reins. I just fucking started tearing shit out of my ass, making this whole bullshit story about like, look, I know it wasn't as big as you guys, but we didn't know what to do. And I was saying this in front of everybody.
Holy shit.
I was like, what were we expecting us to do? There's nothing we can do about this. We're kids. But at the end of the day, if we did anything that could help anybody spread any sort of awareness, we did our job in some way.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm proud of what we did. I know it wasn't great. We didn't do, like, 300 bags like you guys did. We did something, and I'm damn proud of that. And all the guys were like, you know what? That's really good on you. Good on you. Like, that's really cool. Check the timer. 16 minutes. We're done. We're done. All right? I talked enough.
Yeah.
We're good. So, after that, we sit down, and I'm just seething in the back. Just like, oh, my God.
You know how when
Like that was just one of the worst experiences of my life. And
Yeah.
then let me finish.
Okay.
I'm almost done. I talked to the professor and I told him all that was up there was true. Like we didn't know what we were supposed to do. I asked several times and it wasn't about you. You didn't give us any like bad information. It was a matter of we just couldn't execute it. And we did our best and I did all the work and nobody else did anything and I left. So, I didn't actually like say that completely, but I said who didn't do anything or who did the least.
Right.
Because I was trying to be like the person who was like getting everyone together.
Yeah.
That worked. So then we all left, and Emily was like, "All right, well, we learned. We had a good learning experience. So I'll see you guys around." And she left, and then it was me, Michael, and Jessica left. Outside, we were in the front of the building. And I was like rubbing my head, and Michael was like, "Dude, you're about to go off." And I'm like, "We had it right from the very beginning, and she fucked us. She completely screwed us over."
You did go back to the professor and...
Yeah, we told
Okay,
him we already
okay.
have this one done.
Just making sure. All right. I thought you were just gonna leave.
No, I let him know.
there.
I let him know. And we pretty much were ranting to each other, like super pissed off because Michael was pissed because he kind of got the same deal that I got from my parents. It's, I'll pay for college if you don't fail, but if you fail, you have to pay us back, which is fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
I ended up getting a B on that project, and I was going to like say in the chat, "Hey guys, good job, we got a B." Then it's like, but I don't know if we all did, so I'm not gonna say anything. And also, while we're all ranting each other from the building, I turn and see she started walking back to us. And I was like, I'm going home. And I left because I'm like, I do not want to see this again.
I'm not gonna talk to her.
So I left. I drove home. I listened to Violet Hill and I rolled down my windows and I blared it really loud just to like pump my energy out. And I like undid my collar and like my tie just because I was so like.
Did you like scream a little?
Pretty much. I screamed a little bit.
I totally do that. If I'm like super frustrated and just get in my car and just like scream.
Yeah.
I mean, what is anybody gonna do?
I was irate and
Someone comes and knocks on the door. You alright, man?
I'm gonna give a little epilogue to this story. So for a while I worked at a car shop.
Emily opened up her own company. That's the end of
No.
the story.
No.
It
No.
failed immediately.
No.
Okay.
I worked at a car detail shop for a while. And whenever they turn in like
Another video.
No. Well, I'll talk about that later, but I'm saying this specific part of the story.
I know.
So I worked at a car detail shop for a while, and we'd get a slip that says like the salesman, when they want it done, and the customer's name. And whose car did I have to clean up for her? It was Emily. And I was like, oh. And the salesman was actually telling me like everything about her, and it was all raining true. That was the same exact person. And I was like, oh. And I was gonna say I know her, but I was like, cool. Because if I said I know her, he'll be like, oh, let me go tell her. And I have never held so much restraint to just fuck something up on that car. But I held my breath and I was like, I have to be the better man right now. That's not my time. That's not my place. I did rush a little bit because I'm like, I'm not going to give you the best job. I'm still pissed at you, but I'm not going to like fuck you up or anything.
Not gonna key the car.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was the last time I ever experienced I'm trying to find the worst form of rage. I was gonna say mirth.
What is mirth?
Like, I think it's a form of like pissed off, pretty much.
Oh, okay.
I was just gonna
I
say.
think peeved off is like the worst you can get.
Peeved off is not that bad.
I am so peeved right now.
Peeved. But no. So
But gosh!
that was my group project story, and that was an absolute goddamn nightmare.
Yeah, that's actually hell.
Literally after that project, I dropped out of college. I was like, this is it. That was the pushing point. I already was thinking like, I don't know if I need it for real estate, which I really don't. So that was it. And never doing that ever again. Never again. And I'm so glad because now my job, I work completely alone, away from people, and it's great.
I just want to say that's why I kind of like try to stop you in the middle of the story. Is you know how they say like the snowball effect? Mm-hmm. Well, you had kind of a small snowball, and then it reached the bottom of the hill, and so it was like, that's not bad. But the fact that snowball hit the bottom of the hill actually caused the whole avalanche of snow to just go.
Well, I was gonna say rather it would be like the professor was like, here's this giant snowball, push it down the hill, and I'm like, it's too big, I can't push that. And so then when I finally am like, all right, I guess I might as well try, I ended up pushing off, and then I fell in it, and like I was rolling along with it, being smushed over and over and over. That's what it was like.
Yeah, and when you rolled to the bottom,
I pissed myself.
You pissed yourself, and then you rolled onto a train track and got hit by a train.
Yeah, that was pretty much that group project. I've never had a school experience that was worse than that. I'm sure I could think of something.
I was gonna actually say, junior high might be a.
That's a different video.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's enough for this episode. Then I think we've gone pretty far at this point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, it's time to cut.
All right. So, thank you for listening to us rant for a while about how awful school projects are. If you have a similar experience, let us know in the comments. It'd be pretty fun to listen to. To share also express your frustration with situations you've had similar to this one. Also, let us know in the comments if you have any ideas for what you want us to do for a show. We're always willing to expand and branch out and maybe do something pretty cool in the future. So
we're pretty. What's the word?
We're boring.
No, I was gonna say like outlandish. We'll do pretty crazy.
We're jacks of all trades.
Yeah.
Jack of all trades.
Jack of all blades.
Except we can't really do anything.
We're like ducks. We can do everything. We're just terrible at it.
That's pretty much true.
Guys, I just want to say that we had a really strong start to this episode, and I think it's just fizzling out to a terrible end.
Well, it's called the snowball effect. We're at the point where the snowball has just stopped, and we're in a stationary position of just realizing that we've wasted everyone's time.
And we're about to get hit by a train.
Oh no, God!